What's going on YouTube, man? It's your boy Steven Sports, man, back again with the first video of 2024, man. I know last year, man, we started off great, man. I was dropping bangers after bangers, and then I stopped for a long period of time, man. My Mac broke, so I couldn't create content. It was like a whole bunch of going on, but I finally got a Mac. I came back, you know what I'm saying, try to end the year strong, but listen, 2024 is going to be a different year for us, man. I'm going to consistently keep dropping bangers, man. Keep trying to be consistent on YouTube, man, and do other content, you know what I'm saying, like streaming and things like that. So 2024 is going to be an amazing year. But for this video, we're just going to start off the year with a banger. In this video, I have 4 content creators that's going to give their take on why this particular person is the best Four Horsewomen of all time. I have Donney Blaze, who's going to be doing Becky Lynch. I have WrestleSpot, who's going to be doing Bayley. I have Tommy Impact, who's going to be doing Sasha Banks. And I have T.O. Celsos 4, who's going to be doing Charlotte Flair. And they're all going to be basically the lawyers of each of these wrestlers and basically give the case on why this particular person is the best Fourth Horsewoman in WWE. And I'm going to give my take also, but I want you guys to comment down below, who do you think gave the best argument and who do you think is the best Four Horsewoman? But before we get to the video, man, make sure y'all hit that like button, make sure y'all smash that subscribe button. This year my goal is to at least try to crack 1,000 subscribers, man. So hey, let's get into it. And with the first person I'm gonna have up is Donney Blaze. Donney, you're up.
This video is about who is the best out of the Four Horsewomen, but in reality, this video really should be about who is the second best. Because I'm pretty sure we all know who the best is, and that person is Becky Lynch. Without a doubt, Becky Lynch is the best out of the Four Horsewomen, and I'm about to tell y'all why. I'm about to tell y'all why Becky Lynch is not only the best out of the Four Horsewomen, but the greatest woman wrestler of all time. So first I want to start off by talking about the mic skills. I think Becky Lynch is easily the best woman on the mic of all time, if I'm going to be honest. And obviously that includes the Four Horsewomen. None of the Four Horsewomen is as versatile on the mic as Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch, when it comes down to the mic skills, she could do a lot of different things. Whether that's cutting a heel promo, or a face promo, or a serious promo, or a funny promo, or just getting a crowd hype, or just telling the story in general. She is able to do all of those different things. And you can't say the same for the rest of the Four Horsewomen. Some might be good at a heel promo. Some might be good as a face promo. But none of them could do all different type of promo styles like Becky Lynch can. She is easily the best on the mic. But that's not all. We got more to talk about. So we talked about the mic skills, so you know we gotta talk about the in-ring aspect as well. Y'all might say Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks is better in-ring, but I could say this. On a consistent basis, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, or Bayley is not putting on better matches than Becky Lynch. They might have better matches throughout their career, you could say that, but on a consistent basis, I think Becky Lynch is putting on better matches. But if y'all want to say Charlotte and Sasha better than Becky in ring, I'll give y'all that. But I will say that it's not by far. It's not by far at all. And Becky Lynch have been putting on better matches consistently than the rest of the Four Horsewomen. So that's all I'm going to say on that part. Now, let's move on to the next category. The next topic is what she was able to do with the things she accomplished. Y'all probably like, what the heck does that mean? Well, I'm about to break it down to y'all. So basically, Becky Lynch throughout her career, she accomplished a lot of different stuff. And same for the other Four Horsewomen. But if we look at some of the things that they accomplished and compare it to how they did with those things they accomplished, it doesn't compare to what Becky Lynch have done with the things she accomplished. If you look at Charlotte Flair, she got like 14 woman title runs, and I can't think of any one of them as like a top title run. Then you got Sasha Banks, who got multiple title runs also, but most of them she was flip-flopping with Charlotte Flair. Then you got Bayley. Bayley got a SmackDown Women's title run. That's cool, but her accomplishments still don't compare to Becky Lynch. If you look at Becky Lynch, she was able to win a Royal Rumble, and then from that Royal Rumble, she was able to main event WrestleMania 35, and in that main event, she was able to win 2 women's world title plus. She left, she came back, and she won another world title, right? I'm not even talking about her world title reigns that she had before 2019. I'm not even going to talk about that. She came back after giving birth and everything, and then she won a world title and was able to do stuff with that world title as well. She was able to do a lot of different stuff with that world title. And then let's not forget about her NXT Women's title run. Her NXT Women's title run was able to help elevate women wrestlers on the roster. And that leads me to my next point. Becky Lynch's ability to help elevate talent is something that makes her better than the rest. She has been able to help elevate talent. So when I say the word elevate, don't think I mean, oh, she is the reason why that person is where they at. No, elevate just simply means help bring them to another level. Let's look at some of the people that Becky Lynch helped do that too. She helped do that with Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair, she was doing pretty good, but that Becky Lynch feud helped elevate Bianca Belair. Simple as that. The SummerSlam match they had, and they went to WrestleMania, had another match, and then they went to SummerSlam again and had another match. That whole entire feud helped elevate Bianca Belair. Another person is Liv Morgan. Before Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch had their feud in 2021, I think it was, right? 2021 or 2022. One of those years, but before they had their feud, I really don't think Liv was doing something memorable. She was maybe in a tag team with Rhea Ripley, I think, around that time. She was doing something, but it really wasn't on the caliber of her feuding with Becky Lynch. She was able to feud with Becky Lynch, had 2 world title matches against Becky Lynch, and after that, we've been seeing Liv Morgan in that top of the women's roster conversation. She been up there after that feud against Becky Lynch. That's another person that Becky Lynch helped elevate. And then you look at what she did with the NXT Women's title recently. She was able to win that women's title and then showcase so many different women. She was able to make that title feel like something to go after. You seen India Hartwell going after that title. You seen Tegan Knox going after the title. Xia Li. You seen so many women fighting for that title, looking at the title and wanting to go after that title. We haven't seen some of those women on TV in months. And then once Becky Lynch got that title, she seen that as an opportunity to showcase other women, and that's exactly what she did. And you can't say the same about the other women in the Four Horsewomen. They haven't been able to showcase and help elevate women on the roster like Becky Lynch have been able to do it. Yeah, some of them might have helped elevate superstars here and there, but none of them have done it on the same level as Becky Lynch. And that just go as a whole overall. The stuff Becky Lynch have been able to do, none of them could really say they do everything better than Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch is just different, and to me, she is the best out of the Four Horsewomen easily.
Donney just made a really, really compelling case for Becky. But what the next guy I'm going to have up is Tommy Impact. He's going to be, the lawyer for Sasha Banks. Tommy, you're up.
What's going on, you guys? I just want to say thank you to Steven for letting me on this lovely video that he's creating. But I had the privilege, the honor to talk about Sasha Banks. One, in my opinion, the best out of the Four Horsewomen. Or her name is Mercedes Moné, whichever one you guys want to call her. But shout out to Steven. Let's get into it. Let's start with her mic skills. Now, me personally, this is very important when you're rating a wrestler, in my opinion. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys that Sasha Banks is one of the greatest we've ever heard on the mic, period. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys that. But I am going to tell you guys that Sasha Banks, her mic skills is honestly above average. It actually may even be closer to good. But again, nothing to really run home about when she's talking on the mic. Now, she has not had a mic or a promo where we're like, what did she say? Why is she saying this? For what? Or, at least for me, she's never bored me on the mic. So, if I had to rate her mic skills from 1 to 10, I'll give her a smooth 7 to 8. As far as her accomplishments go, I mean, she's a former NXT Women's Champion. She's a 5-time WWE Women's Champion. And she's even a 3-time Tag Team Champion as well. She even went to Japan, won the IWGP Women's Championship. I mean, all those reigns, I'm going to be honest, which is going to be in our next topic, but all those reigns, in my opinion, they're not very long. But I will say out of Sasha and Becky, I think those are the two, and Bayley. Yeah, all 3 of them except one. All 3 of them, with their title runs, with anything they're doing, they are very good at elevating talent as well. Way better than one of the Four Horsewomen. But yeah, as you can see, she has the titles. Great reigns for all of them, even though they're all fairly shorter reigns, I should say. I feel like Sasha or Mercedes has always valued elevating someone in the process, even if it is her tag team partner or it's her opponent. She's always into elevating talent. In my opinion, she's even elevated. She briefly was elevating Liv Morgan a little bit, but I'm gonna keep it completely real. The biggest name probably that she's kind of put over has been Bianca Belair. And to be honest, today, looking at Bianca, I think Bianca Belair is a superwoman of WWE right now. So that should mean a lot, in my opinion. But I'm gonna leave it to y'all. Now, I could be tripping, but Sasha Banks / Mercedes Moné, to me, has one of the better movesets out of the Four Horsewomen. I mean, she's always, and I mean always, when she's not hurt, of course, always, working with, I can't remember his name, but he's a luchador. Always working with them, throwing in those lucha type style moves. I mean, she started with the bankrupt, went into the bank statement, and then we have the Monet Maker. All of those great finishing moves, but like I said, just overall in ring, I honestly, truly believe she's one of the best of all time when it comes to women's wrestling. I just don't see her missing too much. I've seen her get hurt, finish a match, call the audible, and still make it a good match. I've seen all of that happen from Mercedes Moné / Sasha Banks. And if I had to rate her in-ring from 1 to 10, I'm rating it probably closer to a 10. I'll probably do a 9 because nobody's a perfect 10, but I'll probably give her a 9. She is one of the greatest women's wrestlers that I have ever seen since I've been alive, and I'm just being honest. But yeah, that was kind of my whole spiel on Sasha Banks. I hope you guys understand. I hope you guys go look into Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks, and I hope you guys understand and realize that she is the best out of all Four Horsewomen. Just look at her body of work, her ring style, her match quality. You can do accomplishments. I mean, there's another one, Charlotte, who has a lot more championships, but I think Mercedes Moné / Sasha Banks has more meaningful championship reigns. But yeah, this is why I think Sasha Banks is the best out of all Four Horsewomen.
Tommy made a really compelling argument for Sasha, but with the next person we're going to get into is Bayley, and my guy WrestleSpot is going to be the lawyer for Bayley and giving his take on why Bayley is the greatest horsewoman of all time.
What's going on, everybody? This is the WrestleSpot, and I'm helping out Stevensports with this video, trying to convince him why Bayley is one of the best, or the best, out of the Four Horsewomen. So let's look through a few different subjects and stake my claim to why she has a case for being the best out of the four. Now, mic skills. I think mic skills can sometimes be make or break for a wrestler. And I'm not going to lie to you, I don't think Bayley is the best on the mic out of the Four Horsewomen. I think that goes to Becky. But I do think there are situations where Bayley can be the best and has proven that before. I think her being the mouthpiece for Damage Control for this basically whole time they've been together can kind of prove that. And her best era of her mic skills is probably during the role model phase and when she was with Sasha in the pandemic. I do think when Bayley finally enters this face role, when Damage Control turns on her, if they end up doing that, I think we're about to see some of the best promos out of Bayley, and she'll kind of prove why she's up there. So let's talk about what she has done with opportunities and accomplishments that she has gotten so far. In NXT, after she kind of found her place with the whole hugger character and being like the ultimate good guy, good girl, whatever you want to call it, in NXT, she knocked it out of the park, especially in her big matches with the likes of the rest of the Four Horsewomen and even Asuka. After dominating, she kind of passed the torch to Asuka in NXT, and she did the right thing, and she looked great in defeat. Now, in the summer of 2016, she did attempt to bring that same character she had in NXT up to the main roster, and she eventually struck gold by winning the title in early 2017, right before WrestleMania 33. And to be honest with you, she did win the title several times as the hugger character, even the Money in the Bank. I think her cash-in at Money in the Bank 2019 was probably her best moment as being the hugger character on the main roster. But being real, I don't think it ever just really worked. And that is okay, because when she finally turned heel in late 2019, from there on out, and every title reign she's had from there on out has been perfect as the role model character. Her alliance with Sasha, where they held all the gold. She's been very consistent upon being a heel. And whenever she does turn face again, I think it's going to work out for her this time. So I do believe she has capitalized off her accomplishments. Now let's talk about her elevating her opponents, the women of the locker room. I believe she has excelled at that, starting in NXT with Asuka, leading all the way to now, an example being Damage Control. She's in a way leading Damage Control and even sort of kind of being Io Sky's manager, who is the current WWE SmackDown Women's Champion. And dating back to her partnership with Sasha Banks now, not saying Sasha Banks needed to be elevated or anything, because she is a star on her own. But I do believe Sasha and Bayley elevated each other at the time, and they both came out as stars from that feud. So for elevating women, Bayley passes that test. So let's talk about Bayley's in-ring work. I don't know how else to tell you that Bayley is like that in the ring, other than just listing off some of her matches. I can go back as early as NXT TakeOver Rival with the first Four Horsewomen Fatal 4-Way. She didn't get the win here, but she looked like a star. You can fast forward that same year, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn looked at as one of the best women's matches of all time. It's even the match that stole the show on a card that was stacked. That was also NXT's first TakeOver pay-per-view outside of Full Sail, so they sold out the whole Barclays Center. And Bayley and Sasha had the match of the night, undoubtedly. Her next banger is with the same woman, Sasha Banks, at NXT TakeOver Respect in the first Iron Woman match, and this also main evented that TakeOver. This was their last match against each other for a while, but even after this, fast forwarding all the way to 2020, in the Hell in a Cell, her and Sasha tore the house down again. Bayley has had bangers with each of the Four Horsewomen, even going in as the face, even going in as the heel. She's good. Back-to-back bangers with Asuka at TakeOver Dallas and then TakeOver Brooklyn too. She is good in the ring, and her resume proves that. But that is overall my reasoning for why I believe Bayley has a case to be the best out of the Four Horsewomen. And this next face run that she's going to go on, her 2024, is going to prove that. But once again, this is WrestleSpot, and Steven, let me know what you think.
What an argument by my guy WrestleSpot. He definitely gave a really, really good case for Bayley. But what the last person we have is T.O. Cells 4, and he's going to be doing Charlotte Flair. T.O., you're up.
What's good, y'all? My name is T.O. Cells 4, and I'm here to explain to you why Charlotte Flair is the best Four Horsewoman and arguably the best women's wrestler of all time. Now, a woman like Charlotte Flair needs no introduction. A woman who is a second-generation superstar and a megastar in the women's division. The topic of Charlotte Flair is a very, very controversial one. It seems like there is people who either hate her or love her. you're never in the in-between with Charlotte. Unfortunately for some people, unfortunately though for the haters, I happen to be in the lane that loves Charlotte Flair. Now I'm going to start this off by saying I started off as a Charlotte Flair hater also. I also thought Charlotte was just a product of nepotism, just overhyped, overrated, and only in the spot that she's in because Ric Flair is her father. But then I paid attention to what Charlotte does in the ring, on the mic, and the stories that Charlotte can tell and how much she can make you feel something. And I started to realize Charlotte may be the best to ever do it. I mean, let's look at her catalog, her in-ring skills. Look at the amount of 5-star matches and straight-out classics, bona fide slobber knockers that Charlotte Flair has had over the years with a bunch of different women, and it's hard to deny her greatness. I mean, look at last year's WrestleMania. She just had arguably the best women's WrestleMania match of all time against Rhea Ripley, and arguably one of the best WrestleMania matches, period. The way Charlotte constantly denies the naysayers and denies the people who say that she's overrated is just astonishing, and another reason why I put her in that GOAT category when it comes to the women and the greatest Four Horsewomen. Look at her matches against people like Ronda Rousey, women like Trish Stratus at SummerSlam 2019, her absolute bangers with another all-time great Sasha Banks, her absolute bangers with another all-time great Becky Lynch, even times where the crowd didn't care about a match, but due to Charlotte being angry, people throw a fit. But isn't that what a wrestler is supposed to do? Someone like CM Punk, who people love so much because he makes you feel something, Charlotte Flair does that exact same thing. She channels your real life hate for her, or not, and she uses it. She uses it a part of her character, and she uses it a part of her promos. When it comes to babyface Charlotte, I see it as slightly mediocre, but heel Charlotte is where things really get going. Because I believe heel Charlotte to be the actual person, not Charlotte Flair the character, the actual person Charlotte Flair talking to the audience. And that right there is about as real as it gets. Charlotte Flair, whether you like it or not, is the best heel in the Four Horsewomen. And also, whether you want to admit it or not, Charlotte Flair is the best in-ring competitor within the Four Horsewomen. She just has way too many classics and way too many quality matches under her belt. Even the haters can't deny her greatness, and the only thing people seem to have against her is that she wins too much. And I find that funny, because there are some other people that we consider GOATs that we have that same sentiment towards. Mr. Super Cena, people call him literally because he won too much. But even with that sentiment being true, people still couldn't deny the greatness of a GOAT. And when you talk about greatness, when it comes to the women, there is no way you could think about greatness and not think Charlotte Flair.
Hey, I appreciate Tio being on the video. He gave an amazing argument, and now I'm going to give my take on who's the fourth best horsewoman. Listen, I love Bayley. She's one of my favorites. I love Becky. I love Sasha. But in my opinion, I think it's Charlotte Flair. And I don't think it's close. And I don't think there's an argument in my opinion. Just because when you look at Charlotte, bro, when you look at like other sports, like the NBA, the NFL, the top guys, when you look at them, you could just tell they have that it factor. The NBA, when you look at Luka, LeBron, you know what I'm saying, Curry, they all have like this it factor to them. Like when you look at them, you can just tell like, yo, they like that. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why, you know what I'm saying, they're considered one of the greatest of all time. And that's how I feel about Charlotte whenever I look at her. I could just look at her like, oh, damn, bro. Like, Charlotte is just like that, bro. When you look at her in-ring work, bro, like, I every time I watch a Charlotte match, I'd never say, wow, that was a terrible match, or wow, that was a mid-match. Every match that I watch from Charlotte, she always blows me away. Her mic work, bro, when next to Becky, I do think she's probably the best out of the Four Horsewomen. But I think Charlotte is right with Becky, bro. I don't think it's as, you know what I'm saying, far apart as people make it out to seem. And that's just how I feel. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. Everyone on this video, shout out to Tommy, shout out to Tio, shout out to Darren, shout out to Donney. They all graced some great, compelling argument But I want to hear from you guys. What do you think in the comment section? Who do you think is the greatest Four Horsewomen of all time? And also, comment down below, why do you think that? And comment down below, who do you think is the greatest women's wrestler of all time? I appreciate you guys for watching the video, man. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And also, if you plan on going on any sporting event, man, make sure you use my code StevenSports at SeatGeek to get $20 off your first purchase, man. And I appreciate y'all watching the video. I'm out. Peace.